Tom, this one was pretty exciting with the jam sessions. It was absolutely epic, and the men are going to follow suit here as well.
Yeah, I love to see that. All the women out there killing it, and we got to see this course. Now you get to see the guys take to the stage, and I love this event. So excited to have this event at X Games Aspen as a medal event finally. Rails are the coolest element of skiing, so approachable from any resort, any mountain, all across the world, big or small. And we've got the most variety of athletes in this. What we just saw in the women's field, it's film skiers, competition skiers, a little bit of everybody, and we got the same in the men's field.
Well, this is how it works, exactly how we did in the women's field. There's 8 athletes total. We break them up into 2 heats of 4. We call it the playoffs. It's playoff heat 1 and playoff heat 2. You get a 10-minute jam session. Judges are looking for overall impression. It's how do you ride in that jam session. Top 2 from each heat advance to the final. We do it all over again, and somebody's walking out of here with some street style hardware. Let's take a look and meet our starting lineup here for playoff heat number 1.
My name is Max Moffitt. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Caledon, Ontario.
Hi, my name is Siver Voll. I'm 29 years old and I'm from Geilo, Norway.
My name is Mikkel B. King. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Geilo, Norway. Wow.
What up? Colby Stevenson. I'm 27. I'm from Park City, Utah.
Wow, so there you go. 4 heavy hitters here in playoff heat number 1. And once we drop our first skier, the jam session clock will start. It's 10 minutes. So Evan McEachran, oh, that's heat number, went through a different lineup there. So Evan McEachran, Siver Voll, Tucker Fitzsimmons, and Alex Hall. That's going to be heat number 1 out here for men's street style. But let's talk about the different features that you have at your disposal out here, Tom.
Yeah, you got a little bit of everything, tons of different transfer opportunities. You see on the far left there, a lot of transfer potential, the picnic table, the brick looking, the concrete. There's so many options for different tricks, as well as a big feature on the far right of your screen looking up. It's gonna be a wall ride and pole jam. So this is street style. It's close, it's uncomfortable, it's sketchy. Not every rail is slope style inspired. It's more inspired from what you'd find around the city and that you'd film on. And I was out there the other day. These things are tight together, so you have to be on point. You got to get your rail tricks, or else you're running into another rail or slamming into the snow. So we're gonna have to see some tech skiing from these guys.
Michael Warren saying, hey, X Games, what a day for New Zealand at the X Games. Of course, referring to that finish in slope style that we saw with a rookie taking home gold for the first time since 2020 in that event. We're getting ready to kick this one off here in street style. Let's check in first with Kristen Beat.
Jimmy, thanks so much. As I've learned throughout the course of the weekend, skiers are using different tuned skis per event. So in Super Pipe, a lot of the skiers want a really sharp edge on the inside of their ski. It's going to allow them to cut a little easier. However, in slope style, they're actually detuning, and in street style as well, their skis. So what that means to detune, they'll actually bevel out the edges a little bit, create a more rounded edge. I'm not sure if you can see it out there, and that's going to allow them to slide down the rails just a little bit easier. So rather than tuning up their skis like they will for Super Pipe, for slope style and for street style, they're actually detuning them and creating a rounded edge right here in the middle to allow them to hit those rails. And guys, it is so cold out here. It's hard to get words up, but Tom, you and I talked about this a little earlier as well.
Yeah, a little bit of insight on the tech savvy, and let's not talk about the cold because the sun's still up, so it's only gonna get colder when we get into Super Pipe and Big Air tonight.
And
look
Kristen,
at the sweater again. You mentioned this in slope style. Evan McEachran with the kid of the day with that sweater. What did you call it? Cocktail attire?
Yeah, is there a cocktail
it?
Party or a holiday party that he's late for?
He must be hosting some sort of get together at the Pacifico truck when it's all said and done later on.
I think so. Maybe sitting around the fire, roasting some marshmallows, having a cold beer. But like right now, he's got to do a couple big tricks on some gnarly rails.
It's the mountain version of the Charlie Brown sweater right there. I absolutely love it. So we don't start the time clock until our first skier hits the course here. 10 minutes, 4 skiers per playoff heat. Only the top 2 advance to the final. And then in that final round, they get 10 more minutes before we hand out gold. Evan McEachran starting this one off. Switch into the wall ride.
Wow, Evan McEachran switch into that pole jam to the top of the wall ride. Front 450 out, so getting things started right away. Spin and switch, does that full kind of switch to sev up, grips in front, 450s out. So we're gonna see jam session, 10 minutes, you just said it, Jimmy, but judges, for those of you at home watching, they're not judging, they're judging every single run, but you don't have to land every trick. They wanna see your best tricks and on different features. So you get 4, 5, maybe 6 hits. They wanna see at least 2 or 3 really good tricks rather than landing every single run.
So our lone Norwegian here in this heat, an X Games rookie, this is Siver Voll. So yeah, with that overall impression here in that 10-minute jam session, we saw about 5 runs apiece on the women's side of things, all about clock management here, but you do have room for a slip up or two, but you do want to put down a couple of good hits on a couple of different features if you're trying to make that 2K. I mean, we're basically cutting each field in half.
Here's Tucker Fitzsimons to the top of the wall ride, 2-Seb. Just finished up an urban shoot in Ohio with this guy where he was stacking clips left and right and just a rail jam menace. Loves the vibe, loves the battle. 2-Seb. So getting the big trick on the big wall out of the way and then look for the variety. You're gonna see these athletes hit different things each time to impress the judges on the variety of features in this course.
That'll put him into that 2 spot as we welcome in Alex Hall here for his first attempt. No scores, it's just a live ranking, so you won't see numbers next to the names. You'll just see the names jump around here in each one of these heats.
Oh! Alex Hall transferring into that double king thing, going for the switch up. Just saw him land that one in the last warm-up run before practice. So bummer for him, but that is nothing for him. He can come right back, get that one done. Alex Hall just getting off the slopestyle course. Same with Evan McEachern, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Straight into the next event. It is non-stop for these athletes here at X Games Aspen.
Here we go, and right back up to the top. It's Evan McEachern here, run at number 2.
Transfer with the switch up, then the 2-Seb. He is ready for a nice Cabernet and some...
Maybe a Tempranillo?
Wow, you know, depends on the night. There's gonna be a cheese board, that is regardless. Evan does not throw a party without a beautiful cheese board and probably some plum sauce.
So him and Tucker Fitzsimons in the top 2 spots for now. Siver Voll here in attempt number 2. You had to drop plum sauce in there, didn't you?
Yeah, that's his favorite. He dips the tenders in them. I know that personally about him. Back swap, front swap. If you want to consider anybody in skiing the switch-up king, Siver Voll would be hard-pressed to not be that person.
Tucker Fitzsimons. Oh, Siver jumps up into the top 2 there. So it's Evan McEachern and Siver right now as we're just under 7. Tucker Fitzsimons, fatheads down there in the crowd.
Wow.
I love it. He's got a whole support crew
down there. I wonder if they're all like him, just vibing out on this course. I mean, he's got the best looking skis. I'm just gonna hype it up again. You know, Kristen was holding my skis earlier, but those skis are beautiful. If he keeps doing switch 2s, and you see bumped up to 2nd.
Yeah, he jumped back in. So you see that line between 2 and 3. That's the bubble. Only the top 2 get in. So remember that as we move through here. So we're almost coming up on the halfway point as we take another look at Alex Hall.
No.
Just got spun off.
That was this is so uncharacteristic, Alex. And what we saw in the women's event too, he's been training for 4 events this week, like Eileen Gu, who is training for 4 as well. There's so much practice and so much focus and thinking at this event that it's hard to prioritize one event and really get your mind around it. And just a bit miscue, uncharacteristic for him. He is so dialed and just gotta be exhausted from the amount of skiing and work he's done this week.
Yeah, just last night with Knucklehuck, and then, you know, just had slopestyle not that long ago. I mean, they really had to wrap up slopestyle and then start wrapping your head around this. But there's still plenty of time. We're not even at the halfway point here. We go back up to the top, bring back in Evan McEachern.
Oh! 180 onto the picnic table, and it is hard to tell. For those of you at home, the picnic table is not perfectly in line with that down bar. It's sort of tiered off to skier's right, looker's left. So has to be able to do that 180 on and then the switch 2 off of it and get to it. Comes off the rail a bit early, but first guy in this heat 1 we're seeing take to that feature.
He's holding on to that top spot for now. Siver was in the top 2, and then he got bumped back down to 3rd.
And there's a K-Fed. All the way up to the top, comes off to the inside of the wall, so kind of catches that transition, but love to see a K-Fed. Who out there doesn't love it? That name comes from our good buddy Tyler Barnes years and years ago, naming it because the trick was so popular around the time of Kevin Federline and Britney Spears.
So we go back in with Tucker Fitzsimons here. Yeah, that crew is running deep there for Tucker.
Yeah, he might have the biggest fan group of anybody here at X Games. And look, same trick we just saw. That's the 180 on, switch to Sev, back to out. So kind of one up in Evan there, who wasn't able to put that down. And Tucker!
Oh, Tucker takes over the top spot. Oh no, and Alex gets hung up coming off the wall right. That's going to be a problem here when we get down to 4 minutes to go here, depending on how many more runs they're going to get. Time will start to be an issue here for Alex Hall, but how about Tucker overtaking Evan McEachran for that top spot?
Here's Evan back to that feature. Okay, he doesn't want Tucker to have the last laugh. Does it 180, switch 2, then goes for the pretzel 2 to add a little bit extra difficulty flavor. See if he gets to the end of that rail. Just a quick picnic on the table, forces the front 2 out.
See if he's going to jump back into that top spot. And remember, as we go through this, only the top 2 out of each one of these heats transfer on. So the job here in playoff number 1, you're just trying to get into that final gap out off the wall ride.
Only guy that we're seeing really hit that wall ride with the bare minimum amount of speed. He's airing up and getting on so close to the front end. Watch in slow-mo, just crisping it and then going in for the super fed. The switch-up king himself. Beautiful back 450 out.
We are at 3 minutes right now. 3 minutes and counting down. This is Tucker Fitzsimons from Hood River, Oregon.
Oh, going for the transfer, just didn't quite have the lineup. Any of those rail transfers, the way they're set up, they're so close. It's hard not to transfer, and you really don't want to jump too early and catch one of your skis.
Alex Hall coming back into that wall right.
There we go. Switch up the pole jam, corked out, sort of a switch 5, switch 450 into that, then 180ing out. I mean, great to see Alex put one down. There's still time. One really good trick to get on top with that one, maybe 1 or 2 more depending on time. Probably only going to get 1 more. It's going to have to be a major, an insane trick to get up there.
We'll see how time things play out with the clock here. That was the end of the lineup, so going back up the top here with Evan. So we'll see. It's 2 minutes as of right now.
Okay. Evan McEachran, backside switch up transfer, continuing swap, continuing 2 out. Looks like he just got the heads up. They're not going to get another one at the bottom. I saw him turning around, but this, I mean, he has been on point this whole heat 1. Look for that to change. Let's see if he gets back into that first spot, and he does. Evan McEachran.
And I just got confirmation that this is the last round of runs, so this is it. So Evan McEachran puts himself back in that top spot.
Oh, Seaver full. That switch to Sev disaster with the tips down. Did I see those go under the picnic table, onto it? Sort of under, tapping it. So unique. Such good style, such good flavor.
So here comes Tucker Fitzsimons. He's in the top 2.
Oh, front swap, front 270 out. Maybe not exactly what he's looking for, but that's another make to add as he sits pretty comfortable, I got to imagine, in that second spot. But you're never too comfortable with only 2 making it through from this heat.
Look at that gap.
Oh, yeah. Forcing it out. I mean, this course is tight and technical.
So, 30 seconds. I was told that this will be it. So this will run things out. Alex Hall, 2 spots out. Only the top 2 move on. Evan McEachran in that top spot. Tucker Fitzsimons sitting on that bubble.
Oh, going for the chain slide. Alex was doing that in practice yesterday. Only athlete I've seen grind the chain. Watch this. That's the nugget. 50-50, grind the chain, hop back up. I mean, that is...
Pop off of that chain to hop back up on that last jersey barrier.
No idea.
Hanging up.
That's something he's done in the urban environment. And
it's a chain.
It's a chain.
It's
not
just going
a
to
rail.
flex the minute you hit it. That was impressive.
Oh,
I don't know. Are they going back up top?
no, we got
they're
Max
holding.
Moffitt.
Yeah, Sports and Comp is holding them right there. Like I said, we were told that I don't think those boys got the memo down there, but it looks like that is going to be it here for playoff heat number 1.
Wow. Intense heat number 1. Alex Hall. Insane to see him not able to put it down.
Yeah, but Tucker Fitzsimons putting on a clinic out here in playoff heat number 1.
Beautiful 180 on, switch 2 into that. Skiing fast, skiing confident. His girlfriend down there in the crowd.
Evan McEachran's going to get the top spot transferring on here from playoff heat number 1. These two have just earned their spot into the men's ski street style final. You're looking at that clock, man, 10 minutes, like 4 guys, you're like, okay, that's plenty of time. I mean, it goes, that time is ticking down, and it is ticking down pretty quick. So you really got to get off to a pretty good start here in street style. But guess what? That was playoff heat number 1. We have playoff heat number 2. Love the community. Hashtag X Games Aspen has built. Thank you, Rado905. It has been an awesome time up here. We're happy to be back in 2025. It's been an epic start.
Yeah. I mean,
Still got more events tonight coming up. We still got 2 more ski events after this. We got women's super pipe, women's big air. We got a stack day tomorrow as well. Well, we're getting ready to kick off heat number 2 here, but first let's check in one more time with Kristen Beat.
And heat number 2, Andreas Hartvedt is, I mean, guys, the favorite heading into street style. He's a living legend. He is straight up video game status, as you would have said it, Tom. He knows how to layer tricks, and he figures out the hardest combinations. But what I also found, other skiers go to him for advice. When Andreas talks, they listen, despite the fact that he is their competitor. When I spoke to Andreas about it, he said it is such an honor. You know, at this stage of his life, he's a father to 4 boys under the age of 13. He loves coaching them, and at this point he said he even loves coaching his competition, so passing some of those video game cheat codes on to the next generation here in street style.
We will see how that unfolds for Andreas here in this 10-minute jam session. It's 4 skiers here. It's a daunting task when they cut it in half right here, trying to earn your spot into that final. But when it comes down to the tech savvy, I mean, you've got a lot of options to choose from right there. You got a couple different rails on that stair set. You got that fence over there to viewers left, riders right. You got that picnic table feature. There's a cannon over there that you can't see that you can boost off of to go down that stair set. And I love that wall ride feature.
Yeah. So big, so much variety, and so cool to hear that about Andreas. He is truly a living legend, older than I am. He's 38 now, competing with everybody else, and just been in this sport for over 2 decades, been so solid. To see him back at Aspen is so amazing.
Starting it off here in heat number 2, you got Mikkel, BK, Max Moffitt. There's Andreas Hartvedt, and of course, Colby Stevenson. Those are the 4 battling it out here. You got Canada, the USA, and 2 Norwegians representing here in heat number 2. Same thing we just did in playoff heat number 1. 10-minute jam session, overall impression. No scores, just a live ranking. Top 2 go on to that final and join the likes of Evan McEachran and Tucker Fitzsimons. Look at the packed house we've got out here. I mean, from the time they opened the gates this morning, they're just packing them in.
Yeah, love to see the crowd and the excitement for this new discipline here as a medal event this year, because this is, like Knuckle Huck, one of the most approachable elements of our sport. There's our rails that are this size at nearly every resort. So you have the ability to train, learn, and become an X Games gold medalist living in the Midwest, on the East Coast, all across Europe. Any small resort, small vertical feet, you can learn this stuff. So get out, ride some rails, have some fun, and we'll see you at the X Games one of these years.
Or just even people that live in a snowy community that doesn't really have, even the flat spaces. If you live in a place where it snows, you can go, even if it doesn't snow that much, if you want to go out there and take the time, you do some digging with your friends and the shovel, I mean, you could make some run-ins and run-outs. Like, there's so many different urban things going on in the different rail sections and tons of video parts, lots of content out there on social media. And then we get to showcase the best of the best out here in Aspen. So we're just waiting to get the all clear again. We do not start the time clock until the first skier hits the course. So we are underway here. Playoff heat number 2. This is Mikkel Brusletto Calpang.
Switch 270, pretzel 2.
Third in the Street Style Pro at Copper back in December, which was a qualifier to get into this event.
He's also got new skis on today that he was not riding yesterday. Broke his skis in Knuckle Hug, so has to get comfortable with that new set.
So here we go. It's Canada's Max Moffat taking his first attempt. Off that wall ride, gabbing out.
Huge air for Max Moffat there. 270 up, front side, 630 out. Doing a 900 across that entire rail setup. Look at this big 270 up. Grips, gets that spin going on the way out. A little bit of a poke with the skis. This heat is off to a start.
So you heard Kristen talking about it. This is Andreas Hodveit representing Norway. Last X Games appearance was in 2014.
Just a casual 11 years ago.
Why not? You know what?
I believe that coat he's wearing is the exact same coat he probably wore in
from
that
2014.
Olympic. He does not buy new gear. Somebody out there, send this man some free product.
Hey, by the way, in that 2014 appearance here in Aspen, he walked out of here with a slopestyle bronze, FYI.
He's no stranger to the podium. He is not afraid to get medals.
Colby Stevenson with his first attempt here.
Going for that transfer that we saw Alex start with too. So the two guys that ski and ride together all the time, kind of going for a similar setup. Maybe looking for the back swap or just carrying out that back 270 over the whole thing, but gets one down, but you see the leaderboard.
So
Max Moffat.
It's Max and Mikkel sitting in those top two spots. Go back up to the top. Mikkel going up on that wall ride.
I like that style. I'm not sure if he was gripping, trying to go to switch, or if he just wanted to add that steez, but watch this on the landing. It's a right 270 on, so smooth, just the way he skis. So fun to watch. Puts the tails down first. This is a Mike Hornbeck maybe inspired landing where you do a little shuffle. You put the tails down, bring them back to forward. Just follow that guy on Instagram, Mikkel BK. He is worth every video he puts out is gonna inspire you and motivate you.
Sitting in the top spot for now. Again, this is Max Moffat. Oh, it's a little washed out coming off the rail at the bottom.
Doing the lip for right side spin onto that, from that first lip all the way to the down rail. We saw Bella Bacon in the women's street style doing the gap 450. So, oh, look for a backflip here. He's gonna be flipping.
Andreas Hodveit back in. Oh, the transfer.
Super fed, okay. There's a backflip coming. I saw a backflip in warm up and I'm excited for it. Super fed transfer, so started with that switch 2. Now he's just putting on a clinic, gets to the end, makes the back 4 work. Just backflip's coming next round. Just look for him to be upside down.
Oh, and Andreas jumps into the top spot after that one. Here comes Colby Stevenson. He's down that number 4 spot. Lots of time left, though. We're not even at the halfway point. Just hit the 6.5-minute mark here.
That's a good one for Colby. Came off a bit early on that earlier feature, or last run. This one, no problem. Saw Tucker Fitzsimons do that trick. That's the 180 to switch 2 to back 2. That was perfection. That's something Colby can do with his eyes closed.
Well, guess what? Colby just jumped up into the top 2. He's in that number 2 spot, so that bumps Max Moffat down. Mikkel BK running out of real estate there.
He's going in town to Aspen to grab something. He forgot.
Yeah, we talked about this in the women's event. That snow fence coming off of this wall ride feature, there's not a lot of room there between the end of that feature and that snow fence.
Yeah, just the final corral area there, but he's safe.
It's like, I'm good, I'm good. Everybody stay calm. Enjoy your hot chocolate, we're good. So it's Andreas Hodveit and Colby Stevenson, your 1-2 for now. So we are approaching the halfway point here. Playoff heat number 2. Take another look at Max Moffat.
Nice. Max Moffat going with that right side 450. I think purposefully going fast, tapping those noses down. Look at the feet together on the landing. A unique take on the rail setup. Less of a slide, more of that nose tap variety. Okay, I've been hyping it up. Better see the backflip.
Oh, Max jumps to the top spot. So that puts Andreas now on the bubble. So it's Moffat and Hodveit, your 1-2. Stevenson just gets bumped out.
Here's the Jersey barrier slide. Goes for that 1 foot 50-50, then over the chain, 180 out. I mean, he can't miss.
So we're under 5 minutes left to go here. Playoff heat number 2. Only 2 spots left for grabs here going into that final. Colby Stevenson giving the fans a snow shower there.
Nice with the pole jam up to the top of the wall. Backside 450 out. Boom, 50-50s up that pole jam. Oh, is that a little bit of quick back swap? So not just a back 4, quickly doing that little switch up.
Working our way towards the 4-minute mark, back up to the top of the order.
Man, just him skiing.
Trying to get out of that basement spot.
And it's so tough that only 2 make it on because he has been doing some super technical, really smooth tricks, but just the level is so high. Everybody's stomping rail tricks left and right.
Max Moffitt put himself in that top spot after that last run. We're coming up on the 3.5-minute mark here. If you're just joining us, men's ski street style playoff heat number 2.
Slide to backslide, back to switch, just kind of taps it there, but he knows competitions. He's using every single feature, trying to get a variety of tricks throughout the whole course. Oh, here it is. There we go! Oh! Andreas Hotbite, upside down onto the down rail, backflip on to forward. Oh, comes off maybe a bit early, but still.
I mean, to backflip,
onto
Gab and land onto a rail?
I mean, why?
Why not?
Hey,
that's the question.
Point. When you're 38 years old, what do you got left to lose?
Oh my goodness, so he'll stay in that number 2 spot for now. We're coming up on 2.5 minutes as we welcome back in Colby Stevenson here.
Okay, Colby Stevenson switched to Pretzel 6. He kind of messed up a bit on that first run, and since then, he has been killing it. This switch 2, look at the pop, just grip. That is, the wall is really tall. It's not incredibly long, so to be able to set the edge, do that pretzel maneuver back to forward, so difficult. And there he moves up.
Colby jumps in. Yeah, it's 8 feet tall. It's about 18 feet wide. That wall right feature, you got a couple different transitions to go into it.
And there's a pretzel from Mikkel BK right to pretzel 2.
So Colby shakes up the top 2. We're under 2 minutes. It's the 2-minute warning.
Let's see this grip. Gets that edge. So difficult to get that back around to forward.
So it's Max and Colby in your top 2 spots. We'll see how many more runs we're able to get here.
Max back to the top of the wall. Oh! 270, then going corked rotation on that front 450 out, running into the
hero wall there.
He was just ready to pose with his skis for making it to finals, sitting in first. I mean, that's the first bobble. It's a fall, yes. It doesn't look pleasant, but he has been top-notch this whole event.
Gotta watch out for that thing. That looked like a metal pole holding that up and not a plastic snow fence pole. Oh, Andreas!
There we go. That's what he wanted.
Just everyone just got completely dusted in the corral as he came out of that. This is nuts.
Full backflip, grinds the rail perfectly. He's already like celebrating and smiling right here. Watch his face.
Clank.
Oh, he was celebrating before he even finished the trick.
Is this gonna jump him back up? We got 30 seconds left here as of right now. So no, that's not gonna jump him up.
Colby upping the ante on that one, the 180 switch to, and then the pretzel out.
That was tough too because I was just told that was it. So that was the last round of runs and Colby was the last in the run order there. So this is it. So Andreas is not going to be able to get back in. So it's going to be Max and Colby. They're going to transfer on into that final. I was just told that was it. We finished, Colby was the last to go in the run order.
That's close.
I thought with a little bit of time we were going to get one more round of runs, but I was wrong. So it's Max Moffitt and Colby Stevenson making it in.
Man, they skied so well, but to see Andreas's tricks, so bummed to not see him make it through. He's an absolute legend, put on a show for all of us. So great to have him out here, but Max and Colby on to the finals. A couple more runs, another 10-minute jam to decide these X Games medals.
Well, if you were just in that first 10-minute jam session, you got to get back up to the top here pretty quick because or the last one, I should say, because here we go. You're going to have to get right back at it here.
There's still some fun being had. Mikkel BK with a switch cork 630 on in the background.
Take a bow at the end of that one.
Welcome to Aspen.
So we've got another 10-minute jam session to go here before we hand out some men's ski street style hardware. Let's check in one more time with Kristen Beat before we get to it.
Guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I think Andreas got robbed. I thought your run was sick. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, I actually feel really good. I skied better than I could hope to ski. Unfortunately, it wasn't what the judges wanted today, but I'm pumped on skiing, pumped on being back at Aspen X Games, and this has just been a dream.
How has it been to return 10 years later and see the progression of the sport the way it is?
Yeah, people are crazy nowadays. They're going off. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm glad I'm here in the rail park and not up on the jumps because kids are wild.
Regardless of how the results turned out, well done. It's so good to see you back in competition.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's a possible new piece of X Games merch with a picture of him and saying the kids are wild.
The kids are wild. He's right. The kids are wild. But I got to say, Andreas, I just watched you in X Games Street Style. You're wild, too.
Yeah, we haven't seen him here in Aspen since 2014. And like I said earlier, walked out of here with a slope style bronze that year. But welcome back to the X Games, Andreas. The kids are wild. That's the tagline of the weekend. If anybody in marketing's listening to us right now, put that guy's face on some merch.
I mean, he was smiling ear to ear. So excited to see him back, the excitement on his face, the joy that he has to ski and that he's bringing to the kids in Norway at Geilo where he builds the parks and his own kids. I mean, just an inspiration for all of us out there and the many years we have looking forward to doing this kind of stuff.
Well, how about the efforts by Colby Stevenson there in the latter half of that jam session to jump up into the final? They're competing in 3 events this weekend. He had knuckle huck last night. He had slopestyle earlier today. So to make the final here today in street style, his last event of the weekend, congratulations to him. Looking at that shot right there just gives you an idea of the scope and size of the rails and the stairs and all the other features here on this street style course.
Crowd is pumped.
You got the Tucker Fitzsimon Fatheads right there in the crowd, his whole support crew right there cheering him on. So we've got one more 10-minute jam session to go before we head out and hand out some hardware. Let's meet our finalists here for men's ski street style.
I'm 27. I'm from Park City, Utah.
I'm Tucker Fitzsimons. I'm 26. I'm from Hood River, Oregon. I'm Evan McEachran. I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Ontario, Canada. My name is Max Moffitt. I'm 26 years old, and I'm from Caledon, Ontario.
So there you go. These 4 have punched their ticket into the final, hoping to walk out of here with some of the first ever men's ski street style hardware here at the X Games. First time this has been a medaled event here for ski at the X Games. See on the rider's left, you got that big wall ride feature with that cannon to launch into it there. You got the Jersey barrier section. You got that stair set with rail options on either side, the picnic table. You've got the snow fence. For those of you that may just be joining us, it's overall impression, no scores. It's a live ranking, and here we started off with Colby Stevenson.
Okay, Colby Stevenson. The playoffs are over. Final 10-minute jam has begun. Let me just one-up everything and everybody that's done this trick today. 180 on, switch 2, onto the rail, back 4 out, starting us off with a bang.
Here we go, first look at Tucker Fitzsimons here in the final, heading towards that wall ride.
270, front 450, so a lot of different options here. The big feature is that wall. Tucker goes to that one first, does the big trick with the high amplitude, high speed, then get to the more technical stuff. Look at that front 4 out, gets it around. Already, both of them, those are the guys to watch to me. I mean, just the competitive attitude in rail jams, Tucker and Colby.
Take our first look at Canada's Evan McEachran here in our street style final.
Whoa!
Oh, into the snow fence, look out.
Sorry about that, folks. He's late for a dinner party. Switch onto the cannon rail, gets absolutely like slipped out there. He's able to get onto the rail, and then instead of going to the landing, does that back 450 out into the transition of the wall.
That'll slide him into that number 3 spot here, but one more skier to go in the rotation. This is Max Moffett.
Okay, starts it off like we saw in the playoff round. Everybody is going so fast, they're slamming into the crowd. Sorry about that, everybody down there watching, but at X Games, you get a first-hand look as close as you can get to these athletes.
Buyer beware if you're in that front row.
Front 6 out, pokes it out. The one he did in playoffs was maybe a little bit better. Again, no scores, but judges making notes on all these tricks and then slotting them in on different headings on the leaderboard.
That slides Max into silver medal contention at this particular point in time, under 8 minutes here. Remember, 10-minute jam session here. So it's Colby Stevenson, Max Moffett, Tucker Fitzsimons. Looking at medals for now. Lots of time. That overall impression. It's what you do in the scope of the totality of the 10 minutes here in the jam session.
Tucker switched to gapping over to that down rail into the back 2 out. So same thing we saw before, trying really hard to just get a bunch of variety. Got the wall ride trick first, here's the switch 2. He's going for consistency. Get a couple down, then go for the crazy technical move.
Tucker into the silver medal spot here, just behind Colby Stevenson. Here comes Evan McEachran on attempt number 2.
Oh, no!
No, he just gets bumped out, loses a shoe.
Back switch up, transfer. We saw him do that one so good earlier, just a little bit off, but a lot of time to be able to put that one down solidly.
They just went full DJ mode out there behind us.
Yeah, we've got a party going on here at X Games Aspen.
All of a sudden, the floor started bumping over here. I was like, what's going on? They've got a whole DJ set up over there. That was the side of the course, and Max Moffett sending it.
Max Moffett, rodeo 450. Oh. That was gigantic. That rail is not steep, not very low impact to land on, and if you land a bit off like he did toward the heels, you just get bounced to the side and just takes a heavy slam there.
And the time is rapidly coming off the clock here. So we're almost at 6 minutes. Here comes Colby Stevenson, your current leader.
Wow. And just, he amazes me. Switch to pretzel 6. The comp starts and his eyes lock in. It is the eye of the tiger, some Rocky Balboa stuff. He just goes for it, and like, he will make it. He'll forcibly make any trick, and it's just so amazing to watch.
See what Tucker Fitzsimons is eyeing up here in this next go around. Under 6 minutes now, coming up on the halfway point off the picnic table, gap it down.
Nice, Tucker with the 180 switch 2, back 2 out. So just consistent, solidly locked in. To me, seems so solid in that second place spot. Colby did the back 4 out of this trick. He's got the back 2, but he's got 3 tricks on 3 different features, and now he can really let loose.
Yeah, and that plays into the variety thing that we keep talking about. Judges want to see you using everything out there as much as you possibly can, to use every single feature out there on the course. We take another look at Evan McEachran.
Back swap, front swap, so maybe looking for a spin out of this one. Really technical, but just going to forward at the end here when you can tell he wants a bit more, but gets the whole rail and look, swags it out regardless. So he's got tricks now.
So we passed the halfway point. Oh, Evan McEachran jumps up into the medal, so he locks himself into a bronze position as we're just past the halfway point. 4:45 and counting down here.
If Max Moffett goes for this rodeo again, I'm gonna lose it, because that had to hurt so bad. No way! So close to that. He slammed so hard on that rodeo attempt. That is an insane trick if he's able to put it down. The impact on that, the pressure coming down from that high up onto a rail that doesn't have that steep of a pitch is crazy.
Go back up to the top to Colby Stevenson here.
Oh, the 50-50 up, backside switch up front, 2 out. I mean, he just, No falters, no miscues, locked in. So good. Colby Stevenson, just when you think he's spent too much time snowmobiling the backcountry, not enough time riding rails, he'll come to an event like this and put on a clinic.
I mean, he's cranked it up a notch here in this final jam session. So we bring back in Tucker Fitzsimons. Under 4 minutes to go before we're handing out some medals here in men's ski street style.
Really good K-fed here. Tips down with the left foot transfer, gets that back 270 out.
Evan McEachran was in the bottom of the pack here, jumped himself up into the medals after that last run. What's he's got in store for us this time around?
Oh, Evan McEachran! Okay, everybody is doing that trick, and then you gotta just find a way to stand out on the outrun. He's got the same trick Colby and Tucker doing the 180 on, then into that switch too, but he grips the edge all the way into a pretzel 450. That's harder than any variation that all three of those athletes have done here in the final.
See if this moves him up the charts any. Under 3 minutes, we're at 240 and counting down.
Oh, Max.
You see the frustration as he skis away there.
I mean, that is an insane trick. The fact that he's done it 3 times, it might not be physically possible with the amount of impact he's dealing with on that rail.
The question now becomes with the clock, how many more rounds of runs are we gonna get? We're almost at 2 minutes. We're back at the top of the order. Colby Stevenson gapping it out on that wall right again.
2-7 on, front 6 out. I mean, there's people made the finals doing one of the tricks on the wall ride he's done today. He did this, the switch to pretzel 6. He is just obliterating that feature. There's nothing more he can do. Spinning all the way. How does he get that around to 630 and land so clean?
So I have just been told this will be the final round. Colby started off the final round. He's in the driver's seat looking at a potential gold right now. Here comes Tucker Fitzsimons sitting in a silver medal spot. This will be his last attempt.
Super solid, super clean for Tucker. Got the back 2 out earlier, gets the front 2 out now. Really putting that feature down. Almost more of a 2-7 on that time, even more than the front. The 180 spins all the way into it, so smooth. Making those line skis, T-dubs look good. Making me proud doing tricks that I don't want to be out there doing, Tucker. Thank you.
So 2 down, 2 left to go. So we're under a minute. We're told by Sports and Comp, this is it. This is the final round of runs here. One last attempt here for Evan McEachran.
Oh, back to this, get to the top. Oh! That trick is so cool. And the version he did in this finals where he came off into the transition was solid, but I know he wanted to get all the way to the top of this wall, but it's so hard to do that quick switch lip slide, sort of Tokyo drift up, and then get onto the top. And it is steep. The edges of the wall are the wall itself, but look at this snow. Like, it is very narrow, very thin, very icy. Good save there from Evan.
So this is it. It all comes down to our last skier here. He's sitting in that number 4 position. Colby Stevenson in gold, Tucker Fitzsimons in a silver, and Evan McEachran on the podium bubble there in a bronze. It all comes down to this last run for Max Moffitt.
Oh, Max Moffitt! That trick was so cool as he just slides into the rest of the field there down at the bottom.
Just showered the entire podium with a little snow spray right there.
Who needs champagne when your buddies can spray you with snow at the bottom of the course?
We'd have to get somebody to come dust off Evan's sweater after that one.
He's got somewhere to be. 270 on, front, corked, so corked out.
But what a performance by Colby. I mean, jumped up and got it done in the latter half of his playoff heat to get into the final. And then, as I said earlier, I mean, he just turned it up a notch and went to a different level once we got into this final.
I mean, you got to think Colby Stevenson today competed in slope style, so he came out hungry and went for broke and didn't miss.
He was on point the entire 10 minutes of that final jam session, and he walks out of here with the gold, and we send it down now to Kristen Beat, who is with our victor.
Colby, congratulations. You're now a 5-time gold medalist at X Games. You put on a clinic out there. What were you tapping into?
I don't know. I was just didn't have the results I wanted in the other events, so I just was like, all right, let's give it our best shot here.
I had the chance to catch up with your mom, your family, everyone from Park City, Utah out there cheering you on, ringing the bells. What does it feel like to have that kind of support here this weekend?
It's always, I mean, this is the biggest crowd I've had of my fam, so it's awesome, man. I can't thank them enough for the support. It's so fun. They're definitely the most lit out here, too.
Well, Colby, thank you so much. That was poetry in action. Congratulations. Enjoy this gold medal.
I mean, what a way to go out. You're competing in 3 events. This is the last one of the weekend, so why not cap off your weekend with a gold in a brand new event that's never been contested here? As Kristen said, that's his 5th gold overall. He owns 2 in knuckle huck. He owns 2 in slopestyle. Now he's got a 5th gold. That's his 6th X Games medal overall. He also owns a bronze in knuckle huck as well, but what a performance by Colby Stevenson.
Just amazing to see. So dialed, so consistent. He did not have any bobbles, any hand drags, anything in that final. It just turned on. His eyes lit up, and it was for him.
Well, Evan McEachran is going to walk out of here with the bronze. That's his 3rd overall X Games medal. It's Tucker Fitzsimons coming in as an X Games rookie, walking out of here with the silver. But it's Colby Stevenson taking home the gold. We will have the award ceremony when we come back to Aspen.